Hollywood is using the silver screen to retell the stories of the courageous men who helped break color barriers during World War II. The first African-American pilots in the armed forces took to the skies in a segregated unit. And tonight, ABC 27's Patty Santos takes us to meet a local Tuskegee Airman who lived through it all, and a young pilot inspired by the group's action.
To the last man we fight!
The new movie Red Tails, now playing in theaters, tells the story of the Tuskegee Airman experiment. The brave actions of these first African-American aviators led to winds of change in this country.
I thought that one day the story would be told, but we were mostly interested in getting the job over.
90-year-old Cornelius Davis of Bluntstown was part of that movement. As part of the 301st Fighter Squadron and 332nd Fighter Group, Davis was an armorer, making sure the pilots had the weapons and training to hit their target.
When a pilot finished training with us, he was ready for combat.
Davis volunteered into the Air Corps, as it was called then, in 1941. He first wanted to be a tanker, but after watching pilots in action during a movie, he changed his mind.
This tank was going along, and this airplane came and dropped the bomb on it. And it went to be, I'm going to drop the bomb. I'm going in there.
It was in a time when African Americans were not believed to be capable of this type of combat. During World War II, the U.S. Army embarked on an experiment that allowed blacks to be trained as pilots. The new movie is based on the 99 Fighter Squadron, the most famous unit of the Tuskegee Airmen.
All the flying scenes are legitimate, real things that the Tuskegee Airmen accomplished.
Dr. A.J. Brickler is a local expert on Tuskegee Airmen history.
But I actually made the same presentation about the Tuskegee Airmen to the Tuskegee Airmen.
The aviation enthusiast and pilot himself gives credit to these men for breaking the racial barrier.
And it's always true that we're standing on the shoulders of giants.
He tells me the highlight of his career was being able to fly these famed pilots. Just recently, Brickler paid for a large group of people to see Red Tails, including Davis, pictured here in the middle.
The important thing is that it'll spark an interest for people to investigate more and to see what these guys were about.
And he tells of the Tuskegee-Tallahassee connection when the airmen made a stop at the then Dale Mabry Field.
They landed in Tallahassee and were forced to sleep in quarters where they had kept prisoners.
And two former Florida A&M University students also became part of the famed Tuskegee movement. Davis volunteered to go overseas with the 99th Fighter Group for Japan's invasion, but he never quite made it.
Japan surrendered and the war was over for me that day.
In Tallahassee, Patty Santos, ABC 27 HD.